Adjusting the camera. Welcome to this late night Tuesday live stream, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the thumbs up. That is very kind of you. Thank you very much. So, how's everyone doing this evening on this lovely Tuesday night that is super, super cold? Jeff McNeil, hey from North Carolina. Hi, how are you this evening? We are Tammy Bowers. Hi, how are you? Thank you for joining our live chat this evening. We have some cool new videos coming out this next week. We have been very busy in filming all kinds of things. We have filmed and we went to the fairy house, so that was pretty fun. Jeff McNeil says staying home tonight is very cold outside. Yes, it is freezing cold outside. It is probably about 38 degrees right now here in the Smoky Mountains area. So definitely very cold outside. We went to the fairy house and that was a nice cool hike through the mountains. Look at that. It was a lot of fun hiking finally again after so long. Jeff McNeil, when will the Diggin' Zone open? Watch your video today. Diggin' Zone, they said they were going to do a soft opening this month, but I'm not quite sure. That's the last update I've heard from Diggin' Zone. So I'm hoping they do the soft opening this month, which would be really cool to see the actual inside of the theme park and all the different things they have to offer. I know they had like the construction themed ride, and so I don't know if it like goes up and down or if it just spins, but that would be really neat. And then they have the train ride and they have the bucket pull, and looks like a fun place to go. It does look like a fun place to go. It's something different too, so that would be really cool. Something different and unique, something other than just the regular go-karts and arcade. I'm really excited to see what they have planned for the alligator heads. Jason's channel, hello, how are you guys doing? If you're on this live stream right now and you haven't thumbs up our video, you should, because it's a great thing for my channel. It's nice and it shows YouTube that our video and our live stream is fantastic and it's worth watching. But no, the Diggin' Zone theme park is the construction based theme park, and they have all the different sections plotted off for the different things they can do. Like the utility tractor was pretty cool. Then they have like the littler excavators where you can like dig, I would think. But the alligator game, or I don't know if it's a game or not, but seeing what they have planned for those alligator heads would be pretty cool. And to see how that ride operates would be pretty cool too. So we went to the fairy house, and it's not very um the scenery is obviously it's winter scenery, so it's really pretty for the winter time, but they recommend you go in the springtime when all the flowers are blooming. So we're gonna have to go again. Jason's channel, hello, hi, how are you? The last Joker ever evening, everyone. Thank you for joining our live chat. When are y'all going to get back in the woods? So actually, we've been filming and doing hiking this past last day and a half, and we're hiking some more throughout the week. Richard Hunt says, good evening. Thank you for joining our live chat. Thank you very much. But we've been hiking more and more. We hiked the other day, and then we're going to do more hikes throughout the week. We did the fairy house, which is going to be up in the next few days, and we're doing a few other small hikes just to get us back into hiking, especially since it's a lot colder outside now, which it really doesn't bother us, since hiking in the winter time you wear like just an extra hoodie, but despite the extra hoodie, it's actually quite nice because the air is kind of crisp, and it makes you feel more alive though. Hiking when the leaves are crunched up under your feet, and sometimes we still take our shoes off and do barefoot hiking even though it's a little bit cooler outside. Just depends. But no, the fairy house is fun, and that was a nice hike. We have to bring that back. Mr. Draft, hello from Michigan. Hello, good evening. Thank you for joining our live chat. It's very much appreciated. Itchy. Stop. But no, we want to do more hiking. I know it's supposed to hopefully it's supposed to start snowing soon within the mountains. We can get some snowfall footage for everyone. That would be really, really cool, I think. Like snowing in Gatlinburg is always really pretty, and in certain spots on the mountains, like Newfound Gap and I don't know, Klingham's Dome. You can't. It's like closed for the season. But eventually, I would like to go and hike up to Clemens Dome from the parking section along the roadside, because in the winter time, the parking section, when you park there for Klingham's Dome, there's supposed to be like a wall of icicles. That would be really cool to see and witness for myself finally this year. And I want to be challenged hiking this year so I can prepare myself for longer hikes and like overnight hikes. Our family, I think that would be pretty cool because there are a lot of overnight hiking spots here in the Smoky Mountains that we haven't been able to get to or go see because we've been so completely busy. Let's see if there's any live chats. Louis Chiza, hello from Harrison, Michigan. What's up, family? Hi, thank you for joining this live stream tonight. Welcome. It is nice having you on the live chat. Thank you very much for coming on. Random Yuri. In a few hours, the sun will rise. That is very, very true. Thank you for joining our live chat this evening. Our late night live chat. But I just wanted to pop on here for a little while and see how everyone was doing. I promise Tuesday live streams every Tuesday, and so far I have not let y'all down. We will continue our Tuesday night live streams and see what everyone has done for the past week and what everyone's future plans are. Jeff McNeil says, years ago, my wife and I rode the skylift in a very heavy snowstorm. You couldn't see downtown from the top. It was snowing so hard. That sounds, I don't know, that the movie Frozen. I think it's called Frozen. That sounds like a movie, like the horror movie Frozen, when they get stuck on the sky chairs. That sounds like something that's. It would be really cool to see the snow fall that hard from the top, but I wouldn't want to necessarily be up there at that time either, because I don't want to be stuck on top of the mountain. The movie is called Frozen. That's what I thought. I said Frozen. It would be like a 50-50. It would be really cool to see all the snow falling from the mountaintops, but also it's too cold for my liking. I don't want to be stuck in an actual snowstorm. That's kind of like a fear of mine. But to see the snow falling would be really pretty. So there's that. Did you like watching the snowfall from all the way at the top? Last joke ever. I prefer the tropics. Yes, the tropics are really fun too. Okay, so Jeff McNeil says we did it because how often do you get a chance to do that? It was a blast. I'm so happy you guys had fun on and seeing the snow blizzard on top of the mountain. It's just my fear would be they wouldn't send help, or you'd be stuck up there on top of the mountain. You'd have to walk all the way down, which normally when I'm doing like outdoor things, I'm not prepared for being stuck up anywhere, so it wouldn't really pan out for me. But it was good to know you guys had a lot of fun on top. How much snow fell exactly? Because heavy snowstorm, probably at least 5 inches would have had to fall in for something that heavy. The last joker ever says he prefers the tropics. I do love being in the tropics too, although I always would have a fear that you're at the beach and when you're out in the ocean, something grabs you. Not necessarily a shark. A shark wouldn't scare me, like if you're swimming in the ocean. But like I don't know, like the ocean monsters, because that's just one of my my silly fears too. Like like there like could be like what actually is in the ocean, because the ocean's so deep, you're not entirely sure of everything inside the ocean. Like, what if there's mermaids or anything out in the ocean, and they come and kidnap you like the aliens in the sky? That'd be crazy. But that's a story for another day. But the tropics, I would prefer probably the Caribbean islands, but more or less inhabited sections of the Caribbean's, like somewhere that's a little bit more private to enjoy with our family and whoever else we've had with us. That way, we're not super overly crowded. Um, mm, mm, mm. Jeff McNeil said that would be a long walk, not fun if we had to do that. No, definitely not too fun. But on the bright side, I do believe the road just by the Sky Bridge does go back into Gatlinburg. It's like 2 mile or so walk, but it is feasible. But it would be probably a little bit chilly or cold. So I mean, I guess it wouldn't be too awful. I would have to get over all these crazy fears. But that would be really cool. Not to get stuck up there, but to see the snow falling that heavily. It'd definitely be video worthy. Last year we do orders frequently and we do deliveries for the residents here in the mountains. But last year we were doing an order. Actually, it wasn't last year. I'm sorry. It was back when we had the snowstorm that came out of nowhere. We were doing an order and we were having to go up to Pine Mountain, the resort on Pine Mountain Road, and it was snowing so heavily that we couldn't see out the windshield when we were driving down the road, and then the order had to go up the mountainside, so we unfortunately couldn't even take the order up the mountain that night. We had to wait until the next morning when everything cleared up a little bit. That snowstorm left a lot of. It was crazy because we were doing the order and it was clear outside. And then as soon as it hit, like, it was like 8 o'clock, snow started pouring in out of nowhere and completely covered our car and the roads and everything. It was nuts. Um, we do have something cool coming up in the month of February. We are staying at a couple different places in the mountains for reviews and such. We're staying at a few different locations towards the end of February, and that's going to be a little bit of fun. So hopefully, staying in these places, we can see maybe a bit of snow and play in the snow because higher up in the mountains, normally you do get because of the elevation, you get the snow accumulation. The snow accumulation. So hopefully we can build a couple snowmen and have a couple snow angels we can have, and I think that would be a lot of fun. And maybe we could even build an igloo, depending on how deep the snow got. That'd be really cool. A Childers family igloo. And then, like, if it was big enough, you could even spend the night in the igloo if you'd done it well enough. But I believe in February, towards the end, or like the middle, you would get a little bit of snow that in some of those resort cabins. Filming um uh an experience of how we stayed overnight in an igloo. But of course, we'd have to have the snow, proper snow for that. But that would be a really cool video, I think. Might be a little bit cold. I don't know how exactly the igloo works for keeping you 100% warm, but I think it would be something neat to try out. Does anyone have anything they'd like to say? Despite all the hiking and stuff we are going to do. Joker ever says, "Don't get quiet." No, I don't plan on getting quiet. Um, Jeff McNeil said we go home from Gatlinburg through Cherokee, and one year it was closed because of snow. We had to go home another way. That is like the good thing about going through Cherokee is when you go from Cherokee to Gatlinburg, you are able to go up Parkway 441 up through the mountains, like and all the scenic pull-offs and things, or you have to go through Hartford all the way on the freeway into Maggie's Valley and back around. But at least they have another option for getting home besides just the one road, because if they just have the one road, we would have been stuck in Cherokee quite a few times, considering there was excessive snow a couple times, or like a bad storm had caused the rock slide. Yes, a rock slide along the mountains. But either way you go, I think when you do Cherokee all the way to Maggie's Valley, it's a nice scenery drive and it's pleasant. But it's not like it's too horribly bad. I mean, I don't really care for the freeway or anything when you go from Cherokee, Maggie's Valley, and then you have to take the freeway, which is it's all right. But you Hartford, once you get into Hartford, it's real pretty. And that's where they do all the whitewater rafting. And one day we're actually going to do one of those whitewater rafting adventures. I have to just figure out when we will be able to do that with all of our babies being so little. But going from Hartford, you go into Cosby, which has a lot of nice restaurants and hiking and such things as well. And then from Cosby you go back into Gatlinburg, which is where Greenbrier is. It's like the border of Cosby and Gatlinburg, and it's one of our favorite sections of the national park to visit. Jeff McNeil says we want to stay in those treehouse cabins in Sevierville one day. Oh, that would be really cool. Those treehouse cabins, I've seen them from the roadside, and they look super cool to stay in. And we're actually trying to stay in like some of the more off the wall places, like Airbnbs that offer different neat experiences, like the down off of Veterans Boulevard on Dolly Parton Parkway, there's the train that is rented out for an Airbnb. So, but like, even though it's on the main road, I think it'd be a really neat experience to be inside that train, the little train thing they've conducted. And then I know they have, I don't know if it's the same people or not, but they have an airplane going down Old Newport Highway, I believe. And I think they're going to conduct that into an Airbnb stay as well. I think that would be really cool. But staying at a treetop resort, that would be an interesting thing to do. Hmm. Do, do, do. Mr. Giraffe says, I'm a big Elvis fan. Do you have any plan doing something from Memphis? I don't think we actually thought of going to Memphis anytime soon. We have been to Nashville. That was a lot of fun. It was a couple summers ago. We went to Nashville and we did a walk around the city and tour of what Nashville had to offer. We walked up and down the main street, and we actually seen a helicopter land right in the middle of the road. But we didn't stay to see who it let out to have inside, which I think we should have. It might have been someone like really cool, like one of the restaurant owners or someone famous. Like you don't even know who it could have been. But I watched it. We watched it land right in the middle of the road, and I don't know. I think that was pretty cool. And then we walked around. But Nashville, besides seeing the Grand Ole Opry, um, Nashville is a lot of like high, busy restaurants. And they have the live music in almost every single restaurant. So I mean, despite it being a nice day outside, it was pretty hot, and the walk around and looking was nice. But it's not necessarily some place I would essentially take the little ones. Just be for the fact that like when you go into restaurants, um, it's just too loud for littler babies like we had. But the Nashville was really cool and I enjoyed it. But Memphis is a whole nother story since it's all the way on the other side of the state, and we'd have to plan that out and see on exactly what we would do there and the hotel stay or a cool Airbnb. That would take a lot of planning. We do plan on going to Chattanooga though, for this for the battlefields and the older things, and we were going to go to the underground lake and do the boat ride tour there, and then we were talking about going to Ruby Falls and checking out that as well. So that would be a whole weekend adventure of mass proportions. But we're excited to do that sometime in the spring when it warms up a bit. Debbie Dalton says, I can't wait to see more videos. Yeah, we have a couple we had filmed and we're working on editing them right now for everyone's viewing pleasure. We're excited to have put out our new content in the next few days, within the next few day, and then each day as it comes. Um, The Last Joker Ever says Memphis would be pretty cool, Mr. Giraffe. Yeah, I said it would be pretty cool to go and see what Memphis had to offer. We haven't been to the other side of our own state yet, so I think it would be like a summer adventure or something like that, maybe. Checking on our live chats because I normally miss a bunch because it disappears. The last joker ever says, welcome to this wonderful young lady's chat. Welcome to this wonderful young lady's chat, Debbie Dalton. Thank you for joining our live chat this evening. It is nice to have you aboard our fantastic late night Tuesdays live stream. Smoky Mountain Treasure says, hey, thank you for joining our live chat. I'm sorry, it might have been a few minutes before I got to your chat, but I promise I always read everyone's chats and I get back with everyone on our live stream. Thank you so much for joining. The last joker ever says it was most likely a really rich person with too much money to walk or to care that you were on the street. Probably. They're probably one of the restaurant owners or a business owner or a celebrity, and they literally just landed their helicopter with no worries to as or who was around them because they had their protection. Live chat, live chat. Jeff McNeil says the aquarium in Chattanooga is a very nice one. We'll have to definitely check out the aquarium for Chattanooga. I know we have been and we've done a video for the Ripley's Aquarium of the Smokies, and that is really cool to be inside that one. We wanted to go to the Knoxville Zoo, probably closer to next summer since it's so cold outside. And then do a few more aquariums, like the one in Myrtle Beach, the Myrtle Beach Aquarium, and the one in Chattanooga too. And then like more as we travel a bit. But the Myrtle Beach Aquarium is really really cool, considering um you have to get a scuba diver certificate. But once you have a scuba diver certificate, you can go into the Myrtle Beach Aquarium. I think it's Ripley's too. And you can actually go and scuba dive in the shark tank. And for some reason, I really, really want to scuba dive in a shark tank. Just for the fact that I can say I did so. Although it probably wouldn't give me like massive panic modes because you're told your whole life through scary movies and Jaws mainly that sharks want to eat you. So it would be definitely really, really cool to swim with the sharks. But in the same sense, like a overcoming of fear type thing too. Welcome to the chat, Smoky Mountain Treasure Hunter and Lottery Scratcher. Says the last joke ever. And Jeff McNeil says there's a train station from 1900 in Chattanooga that has a train cars you can stay in overnight. Oh, that's really cool. That would be. I wonder how it would look on the inside. Probably something very like not, I don't know, maybe not luxurious, but I would definitely stay in a 1900 train car overnight. I think that would be like a really it would be a really cool like travel experience. There you go. Travel experience. If I can even talk. The last joker ever says, "Do you happen to know the name of the train station in Memphis?" Jeff McNeil. It's in Chattanooga. Oh. Does it have a name though that you can look up and look look the information up upon it so we could check into it? My family always is down for an adventure, staying somewhere cool. Back a few years ago, we did an Airbnb. This was before we did YouTube. We did an Airbnb down in the Smoky Mountains, and the Airbnb was called the Plum Fairy Cottage. And we stayed there for 4 nights and 5 days, and it was down towards the Cosby area when we stayed there. And um, the cottage was their mini. It was their mini farm. So on the cottage, at the cottage, they had like 3 or 4 dogs. They had that this roamed their farm, and they had some chickens and a few goats. And their cottage was literally right on the river. So every morning when we got up, ate our breakfast, we could go out onto the river and swim. It wasn't too deep and it wasn't too fast, so the river was pleasant. We could go in the river and it was about knee deep in spots, and towards the middle it got about waist deep, but the current was nice. And one morning I woke up and I went on out into the river, and it was before I started seeing water snakes more frequently. Um, I went down the staircase they had to the river, and I was sitting on the bank for a moment. And as soon as I stepped into the water, I seen something slither between my feet in like somewhere into the riverbank, and it freaked me out so bad because I was literally new to a snake exposure, if you can call it that. And when I had the snake slither between my legs onto the banks of the river, it scared the literal poop out of me because at that point, before we learned that it was mostly water snakes at the riverside, I didn't know if it was like a copperhead or any like a rattlesnake, something silly. But you never know. It was just kind of nerve wracking, and I didn't really go to the river after that without Rob there with me, in fear that another snake might try to eat me. Last Joker ever. It's called Chattanooga Choo Choo Hotel. That's really cool. I have to definitely look into the Chattanooga Choo Choo Hotel. It's got a rhymey name to it. I like it. Sandra Childers says, "Hey, I was born in Chattanooga. Doing a great job, Chelsea. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining our live chat, and thank you for enjoying our live chat. I enjoy doing these live chats a whole bunch. I enjoy talking to everyone that clicks on and wants to talk with me because it's nice to communicate with all of the YouTube community, and it's just pleasant. I like having the different discussions on different topics and different things on different hikes, and it's fun. I like it. Like being winter here in the Smoky Mountains, everyone now, since Thanksgiving is over, everyone now is looking forward to Christmas and when exactly our first snowfall will be. That's everyone's obsession right now in the mountains and people coming down is when we'll get snow. But no, everyone is waiting for our first snowfall. Everyone wants to see snowfall hit Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge and hopes they have snow for their special holiday and to wake up with snow. And I'm hoping for snow too because, like I said, me and Genevieve, we're looking forward to when we can build a first snowman of the year. Well, I mean, technically, it wouldn't be our first snowman of the year since we had snow in January and February. But you get the idea. It's like the first snowfall for the year. Let's see, we have a live chat. Jeff and Tootsie Camping says, hey, 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 thanks for joining the live chat this evening. Welcome aboard. I am talking about snow hitting the mountains eventually, hopefully soon, since everyone's looking forward to snow falling and all the different sights that would bring. More chats. The last joker ever says, thank you, Jeff, and actually sounds like a cool place to take my son. He loves trains. Yeah. Elijah, he loves trains and helicopters, and eventually we're planning to take Elijah up on one of those helicopter tours. We don't want to just do the basic 5 minute tour. We want to take Elijah up on the helicopter tour at least to go and look at like the part of the national park and a good like maybe half-hour tour. But those tours, unfortunately, the longer you're up in a helicopter, the more they're going to cost. But we don't want to just take Elijah up to do the 5 minute tour up and around Sevierville. Nope, we have a plan to take him up on a helicopter in the springtime. Probably, I don't know if we want to do a helicopter tour here or in North Carolina, but definitely one over the national park would be really cool. Jeff says, just got home from my live show. Thank you for watching, Joker. Elijah loves trains too. Yeah, Elijah does love trains. He likes trains and helicopters. So those are his two things he likes. But and he likes trains and helicopters, and he also is very into sailboats. So that's another thing we're gonna try to do eventually when we reach tropical sections for vacations. He wants to go out on a big giant sailboat, he said, and him and Genevieve both want to watch dolphins swimming in the ocean. And then Genevieve said she wanted to live on a boat and have a home on a boat. So I don't know how feasible that would be, but that's what Genevieve wants to do. Joker said, thank you for chatting with us this evening, Jeff and Tootsie. Yes, thank you very much. But no, we have all these big, huge future plans and dreams that we're gonna eventually do because we're gonna make them happen. But as of right now, we are sticking locally, and we did the fairy house, and we're gonna do that again in the spring. But we have to go and hike. I want to go see the Alum Cave, and I want to go hike to Mount LeConte, and we want to see the steam engine that was left behind is down in Greenbrier along one of those trails. I know that. And there's one waterfall. I don't remember what it's called, but it's in Cross Plains, Tennessee, and it's the waterfall they used to film The Jungle Book. I think that would be really cool. Oh, that one of the hikes I want to go do. Well, it's two hikes I want to go do and see when it gets summertime. Is there's the one Midnight Hole, and it's in North Carolina. And at the Midnight Hole, you go and swim, and it's like crystal clear water all the way down to the bottom. So you get to swim around, and you can see the trout swimming beside your feet and underneath you, which is super cool. But there's a rock you have, and you swim to it. So you're just swimming against the current, but you swim to the rock, and you can jump off into the water below. And I wanted to do that super badly. I think that would be like absolutely fantastic to do. But there's another one. It's like Sliding Rock, and it's in North Carolina. And the section of the river where this is located, you can go in and swim and stuff, but the rock section is like a giant water slide, like a natural water slide. And you start at one section and you can slide all the way down into the water below, but it's not like a really steep water slide. It's like gradual, so it's like almost like a treadmill effect. I don't know. It's going to be a lot of fun. Mr. Giraffe says, I love the strip in Gatlinburg. Traverse City, Michigan has a smaller strip like and the Cherry Festival. So I used to go to the Cherry Festival when I was younger, and that's a lot of fun. And like the cherries you can get are super nice and home, like locally farmed. And then they have the fireworks show along the Traverse City Bay, and I remember that and the carnivals they had. And maybe we could think about doing something like that one day on our adventures. But the Traverse City, the bay is really nice to swim in too. But also, it's also very, very cold. Yeah, the Traverse City Bay is very cold. Last Joker Iris says, I do check out your channel when I can. Oh, can Jeff and Tootsie subscribe to your channel? Well, that's nice of you. Yeah, Jeff and Tootsie says, heck, I need to check out the Midnight Hole. Yeah, the Midnight Hole. So it's really we did actually do a video off of the Midnight Hole, our hike there, and the swimming hole itself. We filmed that, and the hike there. The parking lot you stop in has about 50 or so parking spaces. And if you don't get there when there's a parking spot available, there's a park ranger there that will rudely he'll shoo you away and like make you leave the parking lot and like just go home. Like he won't let you sit there and wait for a parking spot to open. No, you just have to circle all the way back around in hopes you can come back through and find a parking spot. So that's like one of the only downfalls. But when you get a parking spot, which we thankfully did by the grace of God, we were there. We got there a bit late. When we did that video, and there was no parking spots. And the ranger, that's why I said rudely, because the ranger there at the time, he's like, nope, you guys gotta go. And as we were leaving, because we and them said, okay, fine, we're gonna go, a parking spot opens up at the very end of the parking lot, and we pulled in there. And we looked at the park ranger, and like, no, it's cool. We're just gonna stay. We found a parking spot. Thank you. And he was kind of mad, but I mean, like, we traveled from Gatlinburg. We traveled to the Midnight Hole, and it's at least it's about an hour ish, give or take. So when he's like, you have to go and leave the parking lot, it's like, we don't want to just leave the parking lot. We traveled quite a bit of ways to get here, so. But the parking spot opened up, and it was good. But when you park, you have it's a mile or so hike to get to the Midnight Hole itself through the mountains. But it's a really nice trail, and it's like canopied, so even in the summertime, it's not like excruciatingly hot when you hike through to get to the Midnight Hole. And then the Midnight Hole itself, it is down, I wouldn't say steep, but it's not, you can't just walk up to the Midnight Hole. It's kind of like hiked down, almost like the Y and the certain section to the off to the right, but you have to climb down the rocks to get to the Midnight Hole. And then once you're down at the rocks, it's not like there's no little sections really to sit. It is it's rocky, and all the rocks just kind of come out of the river. So when you go into the Midnight Hole, you're literally jumping into the Midnight Hole. There's no real in between, like getting used to it and walking into the Midnight Hole. Last Joker ever says, "Aren't you from Michigan originally, Chelsea?" Yes, I am. I said that funny. Yeah, I'm originally from Michigan, from the Detroit Met. I was from originally the like Detroit Metro, the suburbs of that, like so like just outside of the airports and all that fun jazzy stuff, and lived in a little city. But I moved here with my husband about 4.5 years ago, and honestly couldn't have made a better choice because where we lived in Michigan, it was it was okay, I guess, but since we lived like in a city, when our days off we had the only things that were open and available to do were literally like arcades. Like we had a Zap Zone arcade, or like inside play places like Chuck E. Cheese. We had that, and then there was a couple trampoline places and like a miniature like play place thing for like kids 5 and under. So anything you did in Michigan where I was from costed money. Like bowling costed money, going to restaurants costed money. Like sure there was like the parks and like the playgrounds, but nothing compares to being down here in the Smoky Mountains. Like here on our days off, we can literally go from our home and within a half an hour, we're at the river. Each way we go, like there's so many more options to do, and like outside options. Because when I lived in Michigan, like the even local public beaches were at least an hour and a half away at any given point. And if you wanted a nice beach, you had to go even further. Like I know like the nicest beach I knew was Sterling State Park, and you have to pay to get in, which I mean it's not too horrible, but Sterling State Park had a nice long beach line, and the water is actually pleasant. And then like the Traverse City Bay, that's pretty nice. Like those are really like the only two nice beaches I've found in Michigan. Because like on the other public beaches I knew were eventually shut down and closed off. But there is one little beach I would recommend in Michigan, and it's like towards the Hillsdale area. And it is called, darn it, I forgot what it's called. It would be my luck that I would forget what it's called. But it's out towards Hillsdale area in Michigan, and it's like really nice. It's one of the first videos we've ever done. The last joker ever says that sounds like a prison. I have to be outside. No, we love being outside. So it was pretty like basic and routine, and it was getting old. Like since I was able to I moved out, and I've learned that living indoors just it wasn't our thing. We love being outside, and we do so blah, blah, blah. We do so quite frequently. We're always outside by the river or outside just hiking on a trail. And in our section of Michigan, my section, you couldn't just hike on a trail. I mean, you could hike down the street and go walk around to like the grocery store or something, but it wasn't good. So no, that was what it was like for me in Michigan anyway. I'm pretty sure any other person would have a different opinion. Everybody actually would have a different opinion since everyone's opinions are different. Mine just happened to be I wasn't very fond of living in Michigan. Nope. It is getting late though. Does anyone have any final thoughts or things to say in this live chat? Mm-mm-mm. I'm gonna go though just in a moment. The last joker ever says you have any Florida plans. I think I do. I think we have plans for Florida at least twice this coming year. New Year. Um, we're supposed to go and see family in the next couple months, and again back around in June. I think it's June. We're gonna go and see the Kid Rock concert, and I actually don't know who else is playing, but I know Kid Rock is going to be there. It's like a 2 day concert thing, and then we're gonna do some beaches and hopefully the Ocala National Forest. I think that would be pretty cool. But yeah, Florida's I think definitely in our future, at least twice. I think it has been a lovely live chat though, and I think I smell my dinner's done. So we are going to call it an evening and wrap it up. And it was such a nice live chat, and I appreciate everyone who clicked on and talked with me for a moment. Thank you so very much. It really means a lot to me that everyone will click on for at least a moment and say hi and chat with me. It's really nice and pleasant. Thank you. And until next time, guys, I am going to leave. Talk to you guys later. One last chat. My according to my live stream, last Joker ever says it haven't even gave us an hour. Then what is the live chat? Because my live chat stream says 1 hour, 1 minute, and 10 seconds. So if I am wrong, you should correct me. But I believe it's been just over an hour. What do you think? No? Oh. Let's Joker ever says now you gave us an hour. Are you really counting down the seconds? Cause that's silly. Something I would do though. You haven't gave us an hour until exactly now. But thank you everyone for joining. I am going to let y'all go for this evening, and hopefully I'll do another live stream in Gatlinburg here soon. Hopefully within the next day or so. Last joke ever says, "Yeah, you're my Netflix this evening." Well, I hope it's been a very nice hour-long episode for you. And hopefully, I can get into Gatlinburg and go film and do a live stream there in the next coming to either in the morning or in the next few days. I want to do some morning live streams in Gatlinburg. I think that would be really cool. Yeah, it was quite enjoyable, says Random Yuri. And the last Joker ever says, I'm waiting for the zombies." Yeah, well, this Netflix episode does not include zombies. I am so sorry to disappoint you. But I am terrified of zombies, and we will not have zombies on this episode with me. Mm-mm. Mr. Draft says, do you do live chats every Tuesday?" And we do live chats every Tuesday. Sometimes it's earlier in the day and sometimes it's a little bit later in the evening. But every Tuesday is like a guaranteed live chat thing. We always do a live chat every Tuesday, and we have not missed one or skipped one yet to this day. Last Joker ever says, "Are you sure there's no zombies?" No, there's no zombies. The closest thing I have to zombies right now by me is a life jacket with a frog on it. It's the closest thing I have to anything remotely close to a zombie. And that's not gonna jump out and eat me either, which is great because I'm not trying to fight zombies or a life jacket frog. Mm. Mr. Giraffe, if so, I'll see you Tuesday. Be sure to always be sure to check out our random live streams throughout the week in different spots in the national park and such too. Mr. Giraffe. We do live streams in Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge. And one day this week, I'm hoping to try a live stream up in Cherokee, North Carolina. And then I have been recently wanting to try one in Townsend, Tennessee too. So we've been trying different live streams in different locations. So be on the lookout for those as well. Last joke ever says, I'm questioning what you might have done with Rob. He could be a zombie now, as far as I know. No, he's not a zombie. I made sure he's not a zombie. He's just the other half of the party that unfortunately has to keep a tight whip on all the babies out in the other room because they're crazy. And they can't be on the live streams because they're an absolutely obnoxious mess. So his job is far more important than mine, and I give him mad props because now there's 4 of the babies. 4. That's crazy. And he does a really good job keeping everyone in line. Dictator. Just kidding. No, but I wouldn't know what to do without his help. So I mean, I guess maybe he could be a zombie because 4 babies are crazy, but no, he's really good. But I am going to go. I'm gonna go eat some food and watch a movie with my family if they're all still awake out there waiting for me. And it's lovely chatting with y'all. And until next live chat Tuesday, last joke ever. So you know that bluebirds fly over the rainbow. I've been told they fly over the rainbow. But I'm seriously literally gotta go. And I shall be back next Tuesday for our live chat and randomly, sporadically throughout the week. So just keep in tune and catch up with me and all of us. And then, so until next time, guys, talk to you later. Later. Love to the family as always. Thank you for joining. Thank you, everyone, and see you next Tuesday.